I think maybe time to add a little bit of humor to tonight's meeting. And if we go to the August meeting of City Council, there was a presentation that was made by Dr. Chris Nash, and I think part of it has to do with a change in attitude. And at the end of her presentation during question period, Dr. Chris Nash said, you know, we come to council and we feel like mushrooms, you know, we're left in the dark and you feed us bullshit. You know, and I think it really comes down to an attitude, and that's how people feel. And as was mentioned earlier, we know that there's some good work that's being done in the community. We know what happens when we empower our community action networks and our lake stewardship committees and the various different mayor and council roundtables. You know, there is a lot of good work that's being done, but sometimes you feel the frustration that maybe things aren't happening quick enough or aren't happening efficient enough. One would only have to look at the 4 years of planning that went into the quote-unquote legacy projects, and now not to be talked about anymore. You know, like that was a process where thousands and thousands of people, whether it be in the arts community, soccer moms, hockey dads, and their families, were engaged in a process, and we're left to feel the hope. And we were so close after 30 years that something might happen. And then, you know, there was a lot of discussion around the table about where the economy was going and what was going to be happening and how we can afford to do this. And those projects were lost. And this is something that seems to happen on an ongoing basis. So it's very important that when we do engage those people in their visions, that we put those visions into action and really do respect the work that's being done in our community.
Thank you.
The second question is directed to all candidates, and you'll each have 1 minute to respond. There are many interactions between City Hall and citizens. Nevertheless, many citizens remain unaware of municipal actions and decisions, and many active citizens express frustration about response to their input. In your opinion, how can you make communication and citizen engagement truly effective in municipal government?
Let's start with Mr. Popescu.
Again, my platform for environment is Bible-based. Bible-based home study in particular, and we'd like people's opinions on how we could live better before God, the Creator and Sustainer, with respect to getting rid of pornography and making institutions that broadcast immorality pay the bill for environmental projects, because they're the ones that cause a lot of the damage in society.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez.
And I'll take my 40 seconds. I agree that we need to do a better job of engaging citizens in municipal affairs. And I share your frustration about what often comes across as non-responsiveness. And that's one of the reasons I got involved in the municipal decision-making process 4 years ago when I decided to run for mayor. And over the past 4 years, I've been working hard to connect with citizens. I go out to the community, I spend time in schools, I meet our young students, community visits and public accountability sessions. I want you to know that in every campaign, I spend time knocking on doors, wanting to talk to people, wanting to listen to people, engaging people in the process, not taking polls and going from there. But you tonight are very involved, so I'm speaking to the converted. So over the next 4 years, I want to maintain a two-way open communication. I've got an open door policy at City Hall. Anybody who comes into this building has to come up to the mayor's office. I invite people up. I want to hear what they have to say. Anybody who's got a bitch about the city can come to the mayor's office and talk to the mayor about it. And I know an important concern of residents involved on panels and committees were always heard by council. And I will encourage citizen committees to make use of that open door policy that I have. Come brief me on your projects. Tonight's very important that we're all here to hear what you have to say. We have to explore new ways of communicating. Informed citizens are more likely to be interested and engaged. I go to schools a lot, and I spent a lot of time teaching. And I do believe that we can do a better job in the schools. So we need to connect with school boards. We need to turn them on to the importance of being involved in municipal politics. I go to Algonquin School because the grade 5 class has municipal politics on the curriculum. I spend wonderful days at Algonquin School with the kids engaging in question period about municipal politics. Why isn't that going on all over the city?
Thank you. Mr. Bacanzi.
Did I get my 40%?
Absolutely. I think you might have gone over a little bit, John. Mr. Bacanzi. Now we move to the audience question portion of the evening. Do we have some questions? Chris St. Marseille. Chris St. Marseille? Where are you? Chris St. Marseille, would you like to please come and ask a question? First one is for Mr. John Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'd like to know what tax incentives have you or the city already have that are prepared to offer citizens or businesses to become greener?
These incentives that you refer to, Chris, are not municipally present. They are at the provincial level, because the provincial government is the one who drives that program. So the actual tax rebates the citizens for installing green hydro facilities, whatever, solar or whatever, those incentives come from the provincial government. Provincial government leads that drive. What we do here at the municipal level is to create the climate that allows those things to happen. And so, for example, we're interested in attracting companies that make solar panels or the components for windmills. Those things that we do, our hydro, for example, gets engaged in providing opportunities for citizens to install efficient, energy-efficient devices in their homes, such as the showers, the water meters, etc. So we as a city don't give grants to citizens to put solar panels on their roof.
would you be prepared as a municipal for city?
A supplementary question.
The second question. Yeah, I have a second question. This one's for Mr. Callahan. Recently I read that Montreal and Vancouver have taken steps to become a green society and are leading the way in Canada actually. They've eliminated the use of one-way streets in some parts of the downtown core, and what they've done is they've taken the one-way and made them green walk zones and made a portion of the one-way street two-way. Have you considered doing that downtown Sudbury?
Well, I'll have to be honest with you, it's the first time I ever heard about it. So I know I haven't considered it because I didn't hear about it. But, you know, we have groups in the downtown who are downtown Sudbury, for example, and Imagining Sudbury. And they are, of course, always thinking about new ways to entice people to the downtown and to promote the downtown. And I believe that if you're talking specifically about the downtown, then those are the sort of groups that could champion those sort of suggestions and then bring them to council and possibly can help them implement. That's all I can say tonight.
But would you champion that?
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. I can't, as a politician and a mayor candidate, and if I were to become mayor, I'd be one vote. And I think it's important to understand that you have to build this from the ground up. You just can't come to, you know, I'll be honest, you can't come to a meeting and make a suggestion like that and just get me to say, oh yeah, I'm going to support that, when I don't know nothing about it. So I'm being honest with you. So I believe that if this has some merit and this has community support, then of course that is something that you would bring to council, and I would expect that you would talk to the downtown Sudbury people, and they would be the champions.
Thank you very much. Mr. Roger Nash next, and I'd like Craig Jackson to come down and...
And green belts, would the candidates support full long-term costing for all residential development? Residential development could bring in taxes, but long-term the city needs to provide water, roads, other services that cost money, of course, and can impact the environment too. So would you support full long-term costing for residential developments?
Is that for me or first?
Well, yeah, go ahead, Ted.
Yeah, I just like
It cost the city for providing roads, sewers, water for decades, perhaps a century into the future. And I think this is a longer-term kind of planning that has been done so far by city, and I'm asking, would you support this longer-term kind of planning?
Well, I believe that's built into the new updated planning act that we approved at council, and the council approved that we are open to new ways of helping people to cost out the cost of their homes, and I have no problem with that at all. If I'm answering your question, I hope I am.
How about you, Mr. Rodriguez?
Thank you very much, Dr. Nash. We have an official plan. The city has an official plan which gets updated every so often. The next update is 2012. And in that official plan, it indicates very clearly where development can take place. And it's determined that the services are available. And so all of that has gone into the determining of that official plan. So when a developer says, I will put a subdivision here, and we approve it here at the city, it's because it has the services available to it. You can't go and stick a development outside the official plan where there are no pipes and there are no services. So we do have that, and in fact there are development charges, and we increased the development charges substantially because we believe that development should pay for development, and we should not put the burden on future generations to pay for the cost of development. I'm trying to answer the question as fully as I can because it's an interesting question.